Right here is a Liebherr LR 1300. It's a 330-ton crane at a 14-foot 7-inch radius, and what that means is from the center of the crane it could lift 330 tons with its shortest boom configuration. So as the boom gets longer or taller, the lifting capacity goes down by a lot. Now you could also have a luffing jib, which means the jib is able to move up and down, or you can have a fixed jib where it just stays in one spot. The maximum amount of boom for it is 322 feet, but then you could have a high reach boom, as they call it, and that brings it to 404 feet. The high reach boom is when you see these sections and they have the adapter that makes them look smaller, because the less weight you have in a boom, the more lifting capacity you have. And the maximum amount of luffer is 371 feet. Now at that height, you can't really, lift that much. But anyway, the crawler tracks you see right here are 47 inches wide. They're almost 4 feet wide. Each track section, there's 2 of them, one crawler and one crawler on the other side, weighs 93,000 pounds. It's very heavy for a track. You see your rollers, and the links are single pads. They're a solid link. There's no grousers, or there's no pads on the chain, so to say. They're flat links, so it can have better stability. It doesn't really need to get a grip in the ground, because most likely it will be working on level ground. Now, you see the cab right here. It's the newer Liebherr cabs. The cab is able to tilt up, swing to the right and left. The crane can assemble itself using that part right there, which is called the A-frame. That piece you see right there, you could hang a chain off it, and what you do is you bring the A-frame down, and the entire crane can assemble itself without an assist crane. Now, most likely you will always see an assist crane with it, but it can put its own weights on with the A-frame and such forth. Now, these parts you see over here, they're flat like this. If you bring them up like this, that's how you can assemble the tracks, because there's no other lifting points but right there. Now over here, you see the cab. This machine is all electronically controlled. Everything that you're doing is electronically controlled. Now you always get questions about what does each control do. The right one is for one winch, which would be for one hook block. And then the other, so I don't know the exact way they do, but the right control is for winch 1 and your boom height or angle. And then your left control is for winch 2 and the swing on the machine. You have track, you see the pedals in there, and they also have the hand joysticks. Those are for your travel. Now if you had a luffing jib on this, you have thumb controls on the backs of the joysticks to power the luffer up and down and so forth. These are your fold down steps to get on it. And over here is a close-up of these pull out. This hits against there somewhere. I don't know exactly where, to be honest. It looks like right there. And you attach a chain to that, and that's how you assemble the tracks. Now the car body you see over here, you can see all the electronics running from the cab and the cylinder to tilt it. The car body, which is this whole yellow piece right here, including the cab and the A-frame, is 92,000 pounds. It's a very heavy crane. It's honestly not that big of a crane, but for someone that doesn't really see cranes that often, it's very, very large. Now, I'm trying to find a way up on it right now. But anyway, it's a very, very big crane. It's 330 tons, so figure around, I'm gonna go with a good lifting capacity for it, with all your correct boom is, around 200. Now the boom could also be nicknamed the stick on it, or, many people have many names for it. But to go with the engine, 303 horsepower Liebherr D9508A7. It's this crane is very big. The slewing ring is right there as well. Now, I would have went on it if the ladders were down, but they're not, so yeah, pretty much that. Car body counterweights are right here, 14.3 tons, and those cylinders you see right there are to slide the pins in for the boom since they are so large. And these are the superstructure columns that it's lifting. Now I'll take you to the counterweight of the crane. Those cylinders you see right there are basically guides for the boom, and that cylinder you see right there is for the A-frame, because if you didn't have any cable on it, any load on the cable, it would just fall back. So those cylinders right there hold up the A-frame. Here's your counterweight. This right here is your base plate. It's 14 tons, so it's 28,000 pounds. The larger, thicker weights that you see, say 10, are 20,000 pounds. And then the smaller weights you see up there are 10,000 pounds at 5 tons each. I always call the bottom the base plate. Now you see those chains in there, and then you have one red piece right there and then one red piece on top. The top piece will extend out and the chains will tension. You pull your bolts out that are holding on the base plate and you could drop your counterweights. So that's how the counterweights are installed. And then you see these are all the sheaves to lower and raise your boom and your exhaust stack. Sorry I couldn't get on it, but the steps weren't down, and it would wreck the video to put the steps down. But anyway, there you have it, a Liebherr LR 1300, 330 ton capacity.